everybody. Welcome. MSOM 601, Lesson 6 recap, Lesson 7 preview. Coming to you today from the campus of Southeast Missouri State University in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. Cape Girardeau, Missouri, for those of you who have never been here, is famous for three things. One, most recently, the film Gone Girl with Ben Affleck was filmed here in Cape Girardeau. And secondly, like him or hate him, this is the town where Rush Limbaugh is from. And then thirdly, this is where I got my undergraduate degree, here at Southeast Missouri State University, or we call it SEMO here. I'm here over Father's Day while I'm recording this to see my dad and see my mom too while we're here. So I thought I would come back over here to the campus and see how things have changed. Right behind me you see a little stage. I'm on the terraces. If I had this all around, you see a group of terraces, and in the summertime they do children's theater here. And when I was in college here many odd years ago, I was a finance major, and so I got finance and accounting, but I took probably, I don't know, 5 or 6. I almost had enough to have a minor in theater, and so I used to do children's theater here in the summertime on that stage right behind us. They would bring the university school, high school, and middle school and elementary school students, put them on the terrace here, and we would entertain them during the summertime. So enough of that. I'm waxing with history here. But what I wanted to do today is recap Lesson 6 for you, and then preview the final week, Lesson 7 for critical thinking and problem solving. This past week I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it, but we talked about SMEs, and we talked about the importance of understanding when to use them and when not to use them. And I think that's going to be really important as you go forward in your careers and in different areas. Obviously, you have to be open to a lot of different viewpoints, but sometimes the SMEs that you may look at, you need to make sure that you vet them properly as well, and just don't let them be self-proclaimed SMEs, if you will. So that's really the key takeaway for me for lesson 6. Lesson 7 coming forward just wraps everything up. What I wanted to do is present you with a little bit of maybe a new concept, maybe an existing concept for some of you, called worldview. And so there are several videos that you will see this week, and so I encourage you to take a look at them. I placed several in on this one because it's just a topic that I'm very, very passionate about. Also, make sure that you look in a few different areas, because in the discussion board piece this week I talk about personal worldview, and again, worldview is the lens through which you see things. And your worldview can be influenced in several different ways, both through location, through your parents, through a lot of different things. But your worldview is shaped and can be adapted over time as well. So this is always a very interesting, very introspective type of look, because again, your worldview is just that important on the way that you see things, the way that you handle problems, the way that you think critically, and so on. So I would encourage you to take a look at the many videos that I've placed in there this week on that. And then the case study is one where I really want you to look back over the concepts that we've talked about over the last few weeks and see perhaps how your thoughts on critical thinking, your thoughts on problem solving may have changed, may have stayed the same, may have grown, may have shrunk. And I just really want you to take a look at that, because many times in these fast-paced 7-week courses, we get to the end, we finish up, and we move on to the next course. And what I would really like to make sure that you do is that you do have some time to reflect on these things, reflect on the red model, reflect on the other concepts, reflect on the critical thinking styles, the assessment, perhaps ominous story, and see what type of impact that has possibly made on you as you go forward. And then finally, the key thing this week is really to finish up your course project. I would encourage you, please do this if you have any questions about this, because this last submission for your course project is actually 20% of your grade. The entire course project is 40% of your grade, but the last portion, part 3 of the course project, is 20% of your grade. So if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure that you reach out to me and chat with me about that, because it'll be that important. Okay? Well, this has been, I always think, and again, students may be long drudgery for you, but this has been a very quick 7 weeks. And for those of you who are brand new, and this has been your first course in the master's degree program, I really have hoped that you've accomplished a few things. Number one, we've introduced you to the concept of research and peer-reviewed research, and the impact of bias that you can have, and how you can try to eliminate bias in the things that you do. And so I've really tried over the last few weeks to reinforce making sure that you just don't believe everything you hear, and that you really put things through the lens of your thinking style, but also to make sure that you're very focused to eliminate bias when you can, to be as open as you can to new ideas, to new thoughts, not be so stuck in what you've thought about in the past, and to employ some of these critical thinking and problem-solving models, RED, in the way that you approach certain things going forward. So my hope is that, in addition to just being the first course in a master's degree, that perhaps, just perhaps, you've taken something away as you've gone forward. Okay? Well, again, it's been a pleasure. For those of you who this is your first class and you're taking servant leadership coming up, I'll see you again here in just a few days. For those of you who this is the second class and you're moving on to other courses in the MSOM program, and perhaps you're in a concentration. If not, you'll have me again in the last course, which is MSOM 612, which is all about strategy. So anyway, hope you all have enjoyed this experience. I certainly have every time that I teach it. And if there's anything that I can do for you, even if I'm not your professor anymore, I always encourage people to keep my phone number, pull it down off the syllabus, and if there's anything I can ever do for you, because you've taken one of my classes, you have the ability to call me whenever if you think I'll be able to help in any way. All right? Have a great week. Look forward to your papers, and have a great week studying. Talk to you soon. Thanks.